I was waiting on an elderly lady. She fainted and hit her head on the counter on the way down. Everyone went over to help her, talked to her as she regained consciousness, pressed a paper towel to her bleeding head, kept her calm as we waited for the ambulance, ECT. Another lady stepped over her prone body to the counter, and demanded to be rung up, as she was in a hurry. I'm a manager at a bookies, right? So this customer walks up to the counter, pops a wad of like £300 in a bundle into his mouth, whilst he counts the money in his hand to give to me. I said that he probably shouldn't be putting money in his mouth, and he rolled his eyes at me and went, "Look, everyone's gonna get coronavirus, we'll be fine." I worked at a movie theater 10 years ago, and we had a guy come out of one of the Saw movies, and tell me he was having a heart attack. Died right there in front of the concession stand with his head in my lap. Paramedics get there and block the area so they could do their thing. Had customer come up to the ropes that surrounded the area to complain that they could not get to their theater because we blocked the hall. So, my absolute favorite customer of all time. I worked in a store which serves ice cream. Now, a lady came up to me, and asked to purchase a family-sized tub. This cost like £4.95 or something and had 9 scoops of ice cream in it. She paid, and I went over to the ice cream counter. The lady HMM'd and hard looking at the selection of about 9 or so flavors. Then she said, "I don't like any of these, is it possible that you have anything fruity?" I said that I wasn't sure, but I shall have a look in the back freezer and see if there was something that perhaps was not put out. So off I went, leaving my workmate continuing serving customers with shopping. It wasn't too busy, so he was fine by himself. I returned with 2 flavors, strawberry and raspberry ruffle. I showed the lady and she said that she'd have a little bit of both if that's okay. I said certainly, and I gave her a small warning. I told her that since this was just out of the freezer, it'll be rock hard and extremely difficult to get through, and that she would have to wait a little bit whilst I did it. She said that it was fine and thus began the most strenuous exercise my right arm had ever done, and being a 16-year-old boy, that is saying a lot. Anyway, eventually a queue started to form and my workmate asked for a hand. I excused myself from the lady, stating that there was a queue and it would give the ice cream time to soften. She said that was fine, and off I went. About 5 minutes of putting customers through, this lady storms over with a face as red as a beetroot. I have been waiting 20 minutes for my ice cream. Why the F should I have to wait so long? Myself, and the customer I was serving, was taken aback by this. I responded that, I apologize, however, as I said previously, I had gotten the ice cream from the freezer, and it is rock solid, and she cut me off. Then, she uttered a phrase that, simply put, almost got me fired, slapped by her, or whatever other bad thing could possibly happen at that moment. She asked me, well, why the fizz in the freezer? Then, I looked at her, then at the other customer, whom was a regular and I was friendly with. The customer I was serving screwed up her face, trying not to laugh. I couldn't hold it. I laughed. I laughed and I laughed. I couldn't help myself. She stormed out and that was the last I saw of her. I still giggle when I think about it. Yesterday while at work I had a customer throw their hot coffee that I just brewed in my face cause there wasn't enough cream in it. Before she did that she came up to me and said I made her drink wrong. I said, sorry miss, I can make it again for you. She said, no thanks a hole, and threw it in my face. She then said, storming off, men shouldn't have jobs if they F up a simple coffee that badly. I'm a trans woman so it hurt to hear her say that. My boss saw what happened and reported it to the police. That customer is also not even able to enter the store anymore. Why do people do this? I seated this couple at a table that was half a booth, but the husband wanted a whole table. So I moved him over there, but his wife wanted the booth. So he yelled at her to move over, and then he started cursing at me for ruining his lunch. He left his table so messy because he knew I had to clean it. Like he smeared food on the table, for God's sake. He was still a regular and always tipped like shit, so the waiters hated him. I work at a gas station. A customer just came in and tried to buy Alto Pods vape product. When I asked for his ID, he didn't have it, so I asked his B-day. His birthday was out of range for the new 21 plus law on tobacco in the USA. He then asked me if I was 21. I said, yeah, I'm 22, haha, and HES like, can you put in your B-day for me? Obviously I said no, and then he goes, I'm in the military. I don't know why you can't just sell them to me. I can die for you and our country, but you can't just sell me a vape. Like, okay, buddy, I don't care what you do in your free time, that still doesn't allow you to buy tobacco. Bye-bye. When I worked at Papa John's, we had an online order come in for the Papa John's specialty pizza. Basically spicy sausage, pepperoni and 6 cheese. A lady comes in for it, pays, leaves for in a minute before stampeding back in and pushing people aside so that she could come yell at me. She screamed this was not the pizza she ordered. I figured somebody had made it wrong, so I opened up the box to find it was indeed the Papa John's favorite specialty pizza, which is the order she put in online. Confused, I asked her what the problem was. I wanted the taco pizza, you useless idiot, was her reply. Now, let me tell you something. Papa John's doesn't have a thing taco pizza. Dumbfounded, I tell her that. She tells me, no, you're wrong, and proceeds to berate me about how I should be fired. I'm an idiot, etc. She saw it advertised in the paper and she was going to sue me for taking her money and not giving her what she wanted. I explained she put in the online order for a Papa John's favorite specialty pizza. We made that exact pizza, there's nothing else I can offer her. Finally, before she can scream anything further, an ear-splitting whistle breaks the air and everyone in the store, myself and this Karen included, all turn to a customer in line towards the door. Cowboy hat, cowboy boots, older gentleman, and in a hilarious thick southern accent says, listen here you fat fuck, the taco pizza you want is at Papa Murphy's. A pizza place almost in the same parking lot as us. You're just too stupid and ordered from the wrong restaurant. I swear you could hear a pin drop after that. Red-faced, she turns back to me, ready to yell I'm sure. But this cowboy does this cattle call noise and without missing a beat. Dear God, I hope you can picture the accent. Go on and get. Long story short, she leaves. Herded out by the words of this amazing older fellow, pissed as cat doused in water, but she didn't have the balls to scream at me anymore. It must have really hit her if I'm in the wrong restaurant, if I made a scene. I didn't offer to refund the pizza, as there was no errors on our part, and in what I assume was her humiliation, she didn't fight me on that. So yeah, thank you random cowboy. The hero we need but not the one we deserve.